Every day is for the thief, but one day is for the owner of the house. These were the words of Adano, a peasant farmer who toiled day and night to provide for his family. His wife had just given birth and living conditions had become even tighter. Adano knew he had to work harder and show no weakness. He harvested his crops and sold them at the big market, earning just enough to keep his family fed. He didn't mind selling with marginal profits. To him, what mattered was providing food and other things needed at home. He did not want to disappoint his beautiful wife Nana, who against all odds agreed to marry him. Nana was the beautiful last daughter of a wealthy chief in the village. Against her father's wish to marry into a rich family, Nana opted to be with Adano, the man she genuinely loved. Adano had saved her from a group of boys who wanted to bully her on her way from the stream. This was how their paths crossed, and from then on, they fell in love and eventually got married. But as the saying goes, life indeed is not fair. Amidst Adano's toiling, something terrible was happening on Adano's farm. He had noticed a continuous pattern of uncommon, already concluded harvest each morning he returned to his farm. He was worried. He wondered who could be doing this and how life can be cruel even to a struggling man. At first, Adano went to the village king Iduzwa to lay his complaints. Idizwa, having heard these complaints, promised to investigate and catch the perpetrators. But as it is often for the poor, promises are easy and justice is slow. Idizwa's promise was just ordinary lip service. Months passed, but this pattern of unexplained harvest continued in Adano's farm. Nana would always console and encourage her husband, assuring him that the gods of the land will expose the thieves. On a fateful day, Adano felt he had had enough. He remembered he was from a lineage of warriors. Even his father was a respected hunter in the village, rumored to have fought and killed a leopard with his bare hands. Adano then resolved to catch the culprit himself. That Friday evening, after he had returned from the farm, having eaten and rested, Adano took out his late father's old gun, cleaned, serviced, and polished it. He could still not wrap his head around the fact that some people were stealing from the fruits of his labor. In his mind, he said to himself, "Tonight, the thief will meet the owner of the house. Whether it is a spirit, a wild animal, or humans harvesting my crops at night, I must know it all today." Next, he took out his father's hunting flashlight, a raffia hat, and a bag of cartridges. Immediately it was 10 p.m., he hugged his wife, kissed his child, and left with his gun. Adano did not go directly into his farm. He went and laid ambush in a thick forest nearby, from where he could have a clear view of his farm. He waited and waited as it seemed nothing moved. Then suddenly, at exactly 1:30 a.m., Adano heard footsteps in the dry bush path. He gleaned to hear clearer and leaned deeper into his hidden position behind tall grasses. To his amazement, he saw Atani, the king's messenger, with a large sack, a digger, a machete, and a hoe. Adano wondered, eyes wide open. Of all people, the king's messenger? Atani was in a frenzy. He moved softly but quickly. Emerging from the narrow bush path, he stood in front of Adano's farm. He paused for a bit, looked to his left and then to his right to ensure nobody saw him. Then he sneaked into Adano's farm. Adano held onto his gun, held his breath and kept still. Then he started hearing the precise digging and clearing. Atani was already digging on his farm. Gently, Adano crept out of his hiding. With light steps, he tiptoed till Atani was within clear sight. Adano then bellowed in a high voice, "Who goes there?" Then he flashed his hunter's flashlight, capturing Atani in full glare. Atani scampered and was about to take to his heels. Then Adano released 2 gunshots into the air from his recoiling double barrel. "Stop there!" he shouted. "Or if you run, I shoot. I swear to God, you will be a dead man." Atani put both his hands in the air and was fixed to a spot. Then Adano approached, anger in his eyes, his heart pumping and heaving, and his body shaking from rage. He cried out, "So Atani, it's you! It's you, Atani!" Atani tried to plead, but Adano would not have any of that. He tied Atani up and dragged him to his house. Now Adano does not know whether to report this again to the same king who had done nothing regarding his complaints, and whose messenger is indeed the thief, and may be freed by the same king. Or should he take Atani to the bushes at the boundaries of the village, hack him to death there, so that it would appear he was devoured by a wild animal? He was utterly confused. What do you think he should do in this circumstance? You can leave your comments in the comment section. And if you enjoyed stories like this, please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. I tell these stories a lot and often.